Have you ever heard of the concept over delivering? It's when you set an expectation, but then you exceed that expectation upon delivery. And so this goes hand in hand with the second quote you'll find in my book, Faith and Finances, the most important yet neglected areas of life. And this quote's by Zig Ziglar. And he says, do more than you are paid to do, and you will eventually be paid more for what you do. In my former career, I did this to the T, and I probably didn't even realize it. Last week, I talked about how I only made $35,000 at most in my TV sports reporting career. I was on television, and that's what I was compensated, around poverty level here in America. And that was just one of few of my responsibilities. So a quick rundown of the overview of the main things that I had to do, but then there were things underneath of this, right? Like anchor and reporter. I had to write, those things that didn't pop up on the teleprompter. I was a videographer, editor, producer, web producer, archiver. I did radio spots. Those were just some of the tangible things that I did. The intangible things, like communicating with others, networking with others, being a troubleshooter. I had to fix equipment on the fly. I had to hit multiple deadlines in a day. There were so many skills that I developed in that field, and I was not paid very well for it, like this quote says. But eventually, I would be. Eventually, I was valued, as I talked about last week, the way that I should have been. I was doing so many things in this one position, and yet I wasn't really valued by the TV industry. I'm thankful for the TV industry because it helped me acquire the skills and really sharpen the saw there. Like I was pretty good at my job. And I think that's evident by how I left that business and doing much better without it. But it prepared me for what I'm doing today. And I'm grateful for that time that I spent 10 years in the TV industry and getting me to where I am today. And so eventually I would be paid appropriately for what I do, what I have to offer, my value. And let me be clear, I didn't leave that former career because I didn't feel valued. I left it because of, again, my wife and I want to focus on our family dynamic. I was working an easy 20 plus hours on a weekend. My off days were sometimes split during the week. I'd have a Tuesday, Thursday, or a Monday, Tuesday off. Not the most glamorous or most beneficial of days that really have a great family dynamic. Really, I spent my time focused on my vocation, and it was a 24/7 job. I had to always be in the know, right? I worked in the TV news industry, so if something happened, I had to be ready to chip in where I could. And so my reminder today is, if you're in a place where you don't feel like you're being valued, continue to over-deliver. Work as if working for the Lord. You will soon be valued how you should be. You will be paid what you should be. But it also takes you looking and searching though. I went to God with all of this about what to do next with my career. I didn't just walk in and put in a 2 weeks notice and then spend more time with my family. It took a lot of prayer, a lot of conversations with my wife and with other people to get clarity. And so I encourage you to spend time seeking Him, seeking the advice of others, talking with those closest to you, so you can get the clarity that you need to make the next move, the move that God wants you to do.